Hello everyone and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So my name is Pakwesi. I've been trading the forex market for almost 6 years now. So in this episode of my YouTube videos, I'm going to be talking about trading plan. We are going to be talking about trading plan. We are going to be talking about what trading plan is. So I know a lot of people have been hearing of trading plan, and most of us are not applying trading plan. So there was this saying that goes, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Okay, so if you fail to plan, you are planning to you are planning to fail. Okay, so if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So a lot of people come into trading, they start trading, especially to the beginners. They start trading with no plan. So this thing changed my life. I remember when I started out trading, there was no rules. Nothing was guiding me. Nothing. I don't have any rules that I follow. There was no approach. There was no guidelines. I just come into the market, follow my emotions, follow my intuition, then I just exit. And most often I lose when I'm trading. I mostly lose when it happens like that. I mostly lose. So the moment I discovered, or the moment I heard of trading plan, everything changed for good. I started making profit in the market. So trading plan is very, very important when it comes to what? Trading profitability. It is very, very important when it comes to trading profitability. You get it? So what exactly does trading plan mean? So when you talk about trading plan is simply traders' approach towards the market. There are rules that guides a trader to be able to trade profitably. You get it? So trading plan is simply traders' approach, traders' approach towards the market. Towards the market. You get it? Based on the things that you've seen in the market, you just tell yourself that I'm going to obey these rules. I'm going to what? Abide by these rules. You get it? That's what you call trading plan. Okay, so it's the same thing in business. If you start a business and you don't have a plan, you are going to fail totally, because you need to have a plan when it comes to your marketing. How are you going to market your product? It's if you are having service, how are you going to market your service? Is it going to be through social media? You need to have all these plans. You need to have all these what? Lay down rules, okay, before you even start the business. You don't just enter the business before you start planning about these things. You need to plan about all these things before you start the business. So it applies to everything that we do in this world. It applies to everything that you venture. You need to have a plan. Okay, so I recently started doing this thing for myself. Most those times when I wake up, I was not having any plan for the day. And one thing I discovered about myself is what? When I wake up and I'm not having any plan, I don't have any plan, okay, what I'm going to follow, the rules I'm going to follow, the things I'm supposed to do for the day, most of the times I end up not doing anything because I don't have any rules that I'm going to follow. You get it? I don't have any rules, and I'll be lying down in my couch just feeling lazy because I didn't plan for the day. Okay, so the moment I started implementing planning, okay, the moment I plan my day before the following day, things started moving on smoothly. I become productive because I plan my day. You get it? So it's the same thing in trading. I've been training people for the past 2 years now, and one thing I've noticed about most traders, especially for beginners, is what? They don't even understand. Some people even trade the market for more than 5 years and they don't even understand. They don't have any rules, they don't have any plan. So if I've passed through my mentorship, I mostly emphasize on trading plan. I mostly talk about trading plan. You need to have a trading plan because I'm an experienced trader. I've traded for the market for a very long time, and I know the consequence when you have not having a trading plan. I know the effect, the negative effect that can come to you as a trader. You end up blowing your account. You start over trading, you start revenge trading. There are a lot that comes to when you are not having a plan. So a lot of people too are struggling. A lot of people are facing difficulty when it comes to growing a small account. It all comes when you are not having a trading plan. Okay, so trading plan comprises of a lot of things. Trading plan comprises of what? A lot of things. So in today's episode of the video or the YouTube video, you are going to be talking about some components, okay, some components that you are going to find in your trading plan. So what are some of the components in trading plan? So some of the components, okay, some of the components in a trading plan, some of the components in a trading plan includes, so it includes your strategy. Okay, it includes your strategy. You get it? So if you come to the market, one thing I've seen is what? A lot of people are not having strategy. So the strategy is going to be your playbook. The strategy is going to be your playbook. So you see, I know a lot of people watching me are football lovers. I know a lot of people are football lovers. So you see, most of the times when you are watching football, you will notice that maybe Barcelona, Real Madrid are playing, and you notice that maybe they've scored Barcelona or they've scored Real Madrid maybe 3 goals to 0, and you notice that they will make some changes, and anytime this player comes into the game, the player is going to bring some changes. Either they are going to equalize and score more, okay, or either they are going to play draw. So when it happens, those things that you experience most of the time when you are watching the match, and you just be sitting there and you thought like it's a luck. It's not luck. It is never luck. It is plan. When they are training, they plan about all these things. Okay, when we are in drawdown, when we are down, when they've scored us, what are you going to do? I know this player is very dangerous. At the wings, when he comes in, what? He's going to score. So you what? Those things are what? They are playbook. The moment they bring in the player mostly changes things. Okay, the player is going to change things. So it's the same thing as a trader. You need to have a strategy. You need to have an edge. So when you talk about edge, what does it mean? When you talk about edge simply means a statistical advantage you have over the market. So most of the times, when they change this player, when this player comes in, you notice that the player will what? Will just bring some changes in the market. So you as a trader, based on your experience in the market, based on the things that you've noticed about the market, you get it. What are the things that works for you? So those things are what is going to be what? Included in your trading plan. You get it. So your strategy. So your strategy is going to what? Your strategy is going to what? Your strategy mostly defines what? Your entries, your exits. Okay, your exit, the time you are going to trade, the pair you are going to trade. Okay, so strategy mostly comprises of what? Strategy mostly comprises of what? Your entries and what? Your exit. It also includes the pair you are going to trade and what? Currency pair. It can either be currency pair or anything that you are trading. So let me say currency pair. The currency pair you are going to trade, and again the time you are going to trade. Time you are going to trade. Okay, so if you come to the market and you don't have rules that is guiding all these things that you are doing in the market, when it comes to trade entries, when it comes to you entering the market, okay, when it comes to you entering the market, what are the principles, what are the rules that you mostly follow before you enter the market? So if you don't have these things, you get it. If you don't have these things, you are going to fail totally. You get it. So for me, for instance, let's break down these things. So when it comes to my entries, when it comes to my entries, okay, so with my strategy, with my entries, these are the things that I look for. So when I'm entering the market, first of all, I have to check the time of the day. The time of the day. Okay, so based on my experience in the market, based on the number of years that I've traded the market, I've noticed that most often if I'm trading currencies, the market mostly what? I don't trade, I start trading an hour to what? To the major market session. Okay, so maybe the pre-lending session I have to start. I'm in Africa, so maybe 6 a.m. GMT. That's when I trade. You get it? Because of my experience. Because one thing I've noticed that before 6 a.m. GMT, the moment you enter the market, maybe I plan of executing a buy, everything is looking good. But one thing that you will notice is what the market will start pulling back. Okay, when pre-New York pre-lending session is about to start, you notice that the market is pulling back. So based on my observation, I've what I've I've included this thing in my what the way I enter the market. So the time of the day plays an important role when it comes to me entering the market. Okay, so after checking the time of the day, so I'm trying to what list my trading plan to you guys. You get it? I'm trying to list my trading plan. So the time of the day is very important. After checking the time of the day, I will check the zones. Okay, so the zones too is very very important. Okay, I have to make sure when I'm trading the higher time frame clean zone. I have to make sure there's no support or resistance level on the zones that what in the zones that I'm trading. So I have to make sure I'm trading in what a clean what a clean what zone. Okay, if I'm taking a trade over here, I have to make sure there's no support or resistance levels over here. You get it? Clean zones. So I check this thing. So you see the rules that the rules that I'm telling you about. All these things, I factor them, I check them before I will execute. If any of them is not take, I'm not going to enter the trade or I'm not going to execute. So after checking the zones, I have to check if the candle is in favor the candle is in favor of the trend I'm trading, of the trend I'm trading. You get it? I have to make sure the candle that I'm trading is in favor of the trend. So if I want to enter a buy, I have to make sure the candle, okay, I have to make sure the candle has closed bullish before I will enter the market. You get it? On a stronger area of interest. And again, I will check the what? The area, I will check the area of interest. I have to make sure there's what a strong area of what interest. I don't buy on any levels. Like some, I've been seeing some people buying and selling on M30 time frame levels. Some people too buying and selling on weekly time frame levels. Some people too, some people buying on what H1 time frame level, M30 time frame, M15 time. I don't do that. I have to make sure the area I'm taking a trade on is very strong. So the monthly, weekly, daily, and H4 time frame. So these are the levels that I mostly execute on. You get it? I have to make sure I'm executing on. So why do I even choose these levels to execute on? Most often, what if I choose these levels, it becomes very difficult for the candle to what break those levels. Okay, the walls are very strong. You get it? So these are the things that I consider before I'll execute my trade. Then I'll check the what the structure. I will have to check the structure level too as well. You get it? I will check the structure level. Is the trend in my favor? Or is the trend, if the trend is against me, I don't do those things. You get it? I know some people can trade a counter trend, and they are profitable doing those things. But I mostly prefer, I'm more profitable trading the trend as compared to what? Trading against the trend. So I don't love taking a counter trend trade. You get it? So the structure is very important. You get it? The structure is very important. So these are my entry rules. So if you are watching me now and you don't have these rules, you have to understand that you are not going to succeed. This is not a case, this is the reality about the game. If you don't have rules, these lay down rules, it is going to be very, very difficult to what succeed in this game. You get it? It is going to be very, very difficult to succeed. So these are my entry rules. Okay, these are the things that I consider before I will enter a trade. Okay, so let's talk about the exit rules. Okay, let's talk about if I want to close a trade, what are the things that I check before I will close the trade? Those are my what I have exit rules too as well. I don't just So most often what happens is what some people when they enter the trade, this thing has happened to me before, because whatever wherever you are or whatever you are going through as a beginner trader, I've been there before, because I've been in this game for a very long time. So I know the ins and outs, most of the things that mostly happens to us. So if you don't know, let's say, let me use this basic English, if you don't know your left and right, most often what happens is what, when you are in a trade and the trade is going in your favor, you mostly panic. Okay. And what happens is what, you feel like this trade is going to come back, let me close the trade, and you end up closing the trade. That is what mostly happens. You end up closing the trade. So I have exit rules. Okay. So when I'm closing a trade, before I will close a trade, one, I consider the zones to the levels. I'm like a day swing trader, because I'm majority of the times I don't play with the lower time frames like the H1, and most of my activities happens at the H4 time frame. So with the levels, I have to make sure what price is getting to what, if I'm buying, I have to make sure prices are getting to the higher time frame resistance level. If I'm what selling, I have to make sure price is getting to the higher time frame support level. Those are the levels that I mostly consider when I'm exiting it. So I don't just wake up because of my feelings, then I'll close the trade. And again too, I'll check the candle formation too as well. Okay. So the formation of candles or structures is also important. So sometimes, even though, so mostly this is how it goes. This is how it goes. So let's say if I've entered a trade over here, and this is, let's say, H4 time frame. If I've entered a trade over here, I'm expecting to exit at this level. Okay, if I'm exiting at this level, most of the times price will not get to this level and it will start retracing. So is some of the things that I will consider before I will close the trade, even though it has not gotten to my target, is what, the how the candle is forming. So candle formation. If I notice that the candle is leaving maybe bias exhaustion candle, it is leaving an exhaustion candle, what I will do is what, I will close the trade. If I see exhaustion candle, I will close the trade. And most often too, if it's closed with no wick at the top, I will close the trade. So you see, these conditions that I'm giving, even though price hasn't gotten to the target, but I'm closing. You get it? Based on my experience, I've noticed that when price close with no wick at the top, it will reverse most of the time. So if I'm in profit, I will not close the trade. What I will do is what, since I've not gotten to my target, my risk to reward, I'm going to spoil my risk to reward ratio. What I will do is what, I will break even. What it means by break even is what, bringing your stop loss to what, above entry level. That is what mostly majority of the times I will do. So anytime I'm closing a trade, or another one too can be what, when there was what, fundamental or economic data, when there was upcoming when there was an upcoming economic news. So when there was an upcoming economic news, those things too can affect me closing the trade. Okay, I can also close the trade based on those factors too as well. You get me? So these are the things that I consider before I will what, close my trade. So you see, everything is what, planned. Everything is planned based on my experience, because those times I used to be doing these things, disobeying these rules that I'm telling you, and I've been losing a lot. By the moment I started implementing these things based on my experience, I started seeing profitability in the market. Okay, so these are the rules that I mostly follow before I will close the trade. Okay, so all these things are included in my what, my strategy. You get it? All these things are included in my strategy. And with the strategy, we have what, the time of the day. As I explained, the time of the day is also important. So with the time of the day, I don't just wake up and start executing at any random time. I have to make sure I follow active market sessions. You get it? I follow active market sessions. So some of the times that I mostly trade is what, pre-lending sessions. So maybe an hour to major news event. Those are the times that I start pressing buy or sell. Okay, and after the lending session has closed around 3 p.m. and those around 3 p.m. GMT, I don't enter a trade. You get it? I don't enter a trade. So those are the rules I follow. So I know a lot of people, you are surprised about these things that I'm talking about. So I don't just press buy and sell. I follow a lay down rules. You get it? I follow a lay down rules. So if you are a trader and you don't have these rules written down that is going to guide you, you are going to fail. Okay, trading is a serious business. It is a profession. You need to take it seriously, because the amount of money you can earn from trading, I'm not sure there was a business elsewhere which can be giving you such amount of money, because you can be earning CEO salary within a minute or an hour. You can be earning huge amounts of money and you think it's just a playing grounds. It's a serious business. So if you are in this game, kindly be patient with yourself and be observant to get what works. If you are very observant in trading, you are going to see a lot of, your eyes are going to be seeing a lot of things. You get it? So be observant. And if you are here and you are not, you don't understand these things, kindly get a mentorship. You need to run and get a mentorship for someone to what teach you these things. Other than that, you are going to what lose. There are a lot that goes into this thing. You get it? Because this video is going to be, it's not going to, I'm kind just run it the whole day, so I have to just summarize them. You get it? So kindly get a mentorship. You get it? So these are the things that I talk about when it comes to my strategy. These are the things that I follow, and I have my setups too as well. You get it? So I always say there was difference between setup and entry. So those in my Telegram channel, mostly when they see me posting trade ideas, they thought when price gets to this level, I'm just entering the trade. Exactly. I consider a lot of things before price will get there. So mostly I follow the trend. I'm a trend trader. You get it? I'm a pro trend trader. So majority of the time I follow the trend. Okay. So if the market is moving what? Uptrend, I buy. If I'm moving downtrend, I sell. But before those things are what? When the market is in an uptrend like this, those things are what? Set up. Okay, these things are setups. These things are setups. And again, these are the market phases. This is what? A downtrend. So this is an uptrend. This is an uptrend. This is a downtrend. You get it? This is a downtrend. So when the market is in a downtrend, I find an entry and sell. If the market is in an uptrend, I find an entry and what? I buy. Okay, but before I will buy over here, I consider a lot of things. As I explained earlier, the time of the day, the candle formation, the economic data. I need to factor all these things before I will take the trade. I don't just execute. So these things are setups, and this me looking for an entry, looking for opportunity over here is what you call what? Entries. You get it? That is what you call entries. So I'm giving you a masterclass for free. I'm giving it to you for free. You are not going to get this thing anywhere. Okay, so this is the strategy part of what? Trading plan. So these are the rules that I set for myself.